Here we go. Another Les Kevin, more tech from UTECIT.com.
UTECIT.com.
So today, Les, we got our guest,
Yes.
and we had to pull an old bag out of our tricks, right?
Uh-oh. Or an old trick out
Or,
of the bag.
yeah, we did both
Okay.
of those things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Something
got it.
like that.
Yeah.
So just like how we got married, you know what I mean? We just asked 37 times,
Oh.
then asked 37 more times, and another 37, and we wore him down, and he finally said yes, right?
Yes, that
Our
was
knees were scraped up and bloody
Yep.
from begging on it
Yep.
and crawling around. So we finally got a shero,
A shero.
another shero to come in
Yeah.
and see us. And what was it 108, 109 times we had to ask her to come on?
No way.
We wore her down.
No
Yes.
way.
But nonetheless, we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
And we've
excited.
got
I'm
shero Donna Doleman Dickerson.
Hi.
Donna, great to meet
It
you.
is my pleasure to be here.
So,
And I said yes immediately. My schedule said maybe. I said yes. I
I know.
promise.
You're great.
it's awesome.
Because you're invested in the community. So, yes, you will do
Absolutely.
anything for businesses in the community, won't you?
Absolutely.
So, I'd like to learn about that. Why is he asking or saying that? That's a curious statement.
Probably because of my history in this community.
Let's dive into that.
And I've been in this community for a couple decades.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a labor of love,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Yeah.
Really. I would say it's been over 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I have been involved in businesses and working with small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
with SBDC, you might be familiar with, Small Business Development Centers.
Mm-hmm.
And in that role, I just kind of helped with marketing consulting with area businesses from a massage studio to a tech company to a restaurant. And so helping them. And then I went on to work at Ann Arbor Spark for several years,
Yeah.
and all in the areas of role of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to a national nonprofit, Green Path Financial Wellness,
Yeah.
as the first chief marketing officer, and I'm now at University of Michigan Credit Union
Oh, fantastic.
as the first chief marketing officer.
That's good. That's a lot of community involvement, especially with the credit union. I can imagine.
Absolutely.
So we were walking around talking. I said, "Do you remember Tom Harrison?" She goes, "I don't think I do." She sees Tom and she goes, "I know you, Michigan Ladder." She goes like, was it 07 or 08, 06 that we were from SBTC days,
Yeah.
and Tom's like, "Great memory." She goes, "I never forget a face."
Never forget a face.
So that's a great story. I thought you were going to say that there was a Michigan Credit Union check somewhere with Tom's name on it, and remember how the local stores used to do that when somebody would bounce a check
Mm-hmm.
in?
Oh, gosh.
See if Tom's name was up there. But not
Oh,
gonna
you
happen.
know, one stop that I can't forget because it was such a pillar in the community, and that was Pfizer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
So back in the early 2000s,
You're kidding.
was at Pfizer.
Yeah.
In
What did
Ann
you do there?
Arbor. I was marketing,
Marketing. Yeah.
heading up marketing for the area, for the state of Michigan.
That was
And-
a landmark organization for sure.
Pfizer transitioned out,
Yeah.
and obviously I transitioned out right into the SBDC.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember that, and everybody thought it was terrible, and it was, it was just the sky was falling. But talking about an area making lemonade with lemons, look at how many good people have gone
stayed.
on and did different stuff. With Spark,
Absolutely.
with different community banks here, just went off and started different companies. And if you look at what U of M has done with that building and the space, and as an
Absolutely.
entrepreneurship place and tech startup, I don't know, it might have been the best thing for the area, maybe.
You know what? I mean, I was a product of starting two companies after. And then when SBDC helped me start a consultancy.
Mhm.
And then they just said, hey, want to don't you come on over here? And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wow.
I just know healthcare marketing. I don't know. And actually, that was the best experience to work with local businesses, no matter what industry.
Yeah.
And really, I started helping with marketing, but I would show up on site, and sometimes they needed a sales plan, not a marketing plan. Sometimes they needed an HR plan or a talent plan. It really just depended on whatever their issue was, and it was so rewarding. I would say out of everything that I've done, that just working with small businesses and helping
Right.
them with whatever they needed, wherever they were, just kind of meeting them where they were, that was the most rewarding.
Was Spark in existence then, or was Spark an offshoot of that?
Yes, Spark was in existence.
Okay.
So I would say between Spark and SBDC, those were my paths when I left Pfizer. And there were several Pfizer employees as well that were helped by both those organizations.
Wow, fantastic. It really demonstrates the resiliency of the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Preserving that talent in this area instead of having those people leave. That was the first priority for Spark at the time, and I think they did a great job. And I think it was under Mike Finney's leadership at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great concept, trying to, because, there's all this talk about brain drain here in this state, and there's talk about, the graduation levels and the students moving out, going to, whether it's Chicago or the Southeast or Southwest. But that's a great concept around the community.
Absolutely.
So what do you think some of the things they did to maintain that? What are what are some of the action items that pulled the community through that you could point to that were successful?
I remember, and actually I know that I just found out from you guys that she's a current shero. I remember Amy So
Yeah.
and an initiative that she was facilitating called Michigan. And so it was an initiative to bring talent back to Michigan.
I see, yeah.
And so the talent that might have been at the universities here locally in other areas, Silicon Valley, other areas like that, focused on going there and kind of creating awareness about the opportunities that are here. And so it's called a Michigan. It was actually a statewide initiative that MEDC, during Amy's time at MEDC. And that was an initiative that stands out in my mind because MEDC partnered with Spark to do that initiative and bring back talent to the Ann Arbor area.
Well, that's something that maybe should be rebirthed, especially in the times that we're in right now.
Yeah.
With
You know
the
what?
state.
I'm not as close to it now. It might be going on now.
Yeah.
You call it something else. I know they're still focused on kind of retaining
It's
talent
huge.
in the area. Yeah.
It's a big challenge. The by the way, this She-Ro, we got to get a theme song.
Need Shiro music.
Yeah, we need She-Ro.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
Would you like me to try to figure out the hook for it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's your assignment after today.
Do you like music?
I like music.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I do. And I sing in the shower.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, I used to sing in the choir.
So you got the history then.
Yeah.
She got some
Yeah.
pipes.
All right.
Listen to
I
her.
don't know about that.
I'm just
but-
wondering if we're gonna do it right now.
No, we're not. I got your hook, though.
You do?
I got it.
We gotta work on that.
Yeah,
I like it.
We're gonna do that.
She wrote theme music.
Yeah, we need theme music. We need the outfit with the cape, right? So, and then we got the event.
So you've been very committed to the community. There's not I don't think there's a board you probably haven't been on while you've been here, or nonprofit you've worked to assist and help and do different stuff like that. What drives that in you?
You know what? I gotta start with, everybody's kind of inspired by something or someone. And so for me, it's hands down my parents.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's great.
And I'll tell you why. My parents are both clinicians. One's a nurse, my dad's a physical therapist. At 80, almost 3 next month, 83, my dad is still practicing physical therapy, seeing children. Okay? Right?
Crazy.
Right? Just passion.
That's what it is passion.
Mom nursing, still the nurse of the family. I watched them growing up as a little girl. I knew, though, that that wasn't me. That wasn't my path from a clinician, the blood needles kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I knew that. But what happened was I was exposed to someone in the healthcare field who was not a clinician at a nursing home that my dad worked at.
Mm-hmm.
And she was walking around and she was in charge of the nursing home. And as a 10-year-old girl, I volunteered at the nursing home all throughout high school, grade school, middle school, high school, volunteer. So I watched her, and I was inspired by that because I knew it was like, oh, there's a business side to healthcare.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
She's the boss. She's walking around. She's organizing. She's planning. She's making sure things are running smoothly. That's me.
Yeah.
So as a 10-year-old, from 10 to 17 when I graduated, I was in that environment and realizing that, you know what, it's okay that you don't have to, you're not a clinician, but you can still be in this field and impact this field. And that's when I went to undergrad, and my major was healthcare management. And so that's where I decided what I wanted to do for a career. Now, and I went on to healthcare, Pfizer, Detroit Medical Center, and I was in this healthcare space. And then I took a pivot to marketing and realized I had a passion for marketing.
Right.
Then with SBDC, realized that marketing, not just healthcare, any industry. And that's kind of where my passion was. And so all of those experiences kind of brought me to this place of giving back and healthcare. And as you know, now I am still in healthcare tangentially in the board, as a board chair of Trinity Health Michigan.
Right.
So I've kept my connection to healthcare, my first love, my passion. But now really taking my marketing talents to other industries, and now the credit union industry.
Yeah, she went to some small school. She couldn't get into Capital University. And again, the theme of talking about making lemonade out of lemons. You went to, where'd you go?
I went to undergrad at Florida A&M University, actually the #1 HBCU.
Okay.
And then I went to grad school at SUNY Buffalo.
Okay. So, so you found a pathway, is what you're saying. And so you found it through your passion, but also your talents, and you've been able to blend them.
Yes.
And that's a difficult, there's a lot of people rocking around trying to figure out what they should do.
There are. And for me, I had some defining moments that kind of where you have to sit and you have to reflect and figure out, okay, what am I doing? What are my strengths? And I am a follower of Strength Finder.
Yeah. Okay.
If you haven't heard about it, Clifton Strength Finder, and really digging in and understanding your strengths.
Yeah.
And that's what really helped me kind of shape and propel me to my career interests and kind of what I'm doing now, and really understanding. I've started to gravitate towards things where.
Where did you learn about that concept? Because the common sense, the more common approach is people work on their weaknesses. They try to, that you see it and hear it everywhere. How do we improve? How do we get better at this? But history shows us that that's not the correct approach. The correct approach is find the strengths, work the strengths, build and manage the weakness.
Right. Exactly. I think for me, when I left Pfizer, I kind of had an opportunity to kind of reflect, like, what do I want to do next? And I in that reflection, I was looking at what I had done. And I started to see some themes. Oh, okay, you were the first at Detroit Medical Center. You built something from the ground up. You did the same thing at Pfizer. You built something from the ground up. So I started to see that I was like pioneering in my roles, like new things. New roles, new things, new initiatives, and that's where I would get my energy from.
I love that word, pioneering. I mean, it's a throwback word, but it's.
Yeah.
Now don't be making T-shirts called the Pioneer Woman. They'll mix you up with a cooking class lady on TV. But I love that concept, pioneering.
Yeah, that's I just kind of realized that. So from just kind of that reflection, and then I was introduced to Strength Finder. I don't know, just reading.
Yeah.
Really a study leadership and such, and introduced to it and realized, when you do those things and you were like, oh my gosh, that's me.
Yeah.
You can see yourself.
So one of the words that you've hit on now like 4 or 5 times is reflection. So is that maybe an uncodified method in your life, a tool that you use?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when you reflect, you understand yourself, right? And then you understand how your connection to the world. And then once you understand that, you understand your value, and then you know how you can communicate to the world. It's kind of common sense, right? It's kind of basic, but
It's very uncommon though.
it's an intentional approach.
Right, yeah.
My reflections are nightmares.
Well,
Just like we took down all the mirrors in our house. We don't look back.
do you have a way that you reflect?
I think it's through studying concepts and things.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm studying a leadership principle, then I reflect on how that might relate to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think the good to great leaders. If you level 5 leaders, there's several levels, and I can't give you all the details, but I know level 5 is the level where it's really about a leader bringing people in and inspiring people, and then once they're gone, that leader still has impact in that organization, and they're still moving forward. So kind of an aspirational, humble leader.
Yeah.
And they kind of inspire others, and then when they leave, they're still their footprint is still there, and that's the kind of person I want to be.
Yeah. So I
You know what?
go ahead.
Marketing, you think a lot of times whimsical. I just got ideas and we're just running around doing all this stuff. Do you hear the very tactical approach in her? You know what I mean? It'd be real interesting to really dive in and more see that marketing plan and how tactical you are and strategic and technician.
Very, very strategic and tactical. When I think about marketing, is really about understanding your audience and what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Really the foundation of marketing, and that's what's so exciting about marketing a brand like the University of Michigan Credit Union. It's really understanding what people need and just meeting them where they are, solving pain points.
I got to ask you about that because the common business tactic, and I mean the common, is to not do that. So, like, for example, if you take a look at like the manufacturers of the products we represent, so they produce marketing material. I mean, there's enough. You could spend all day reading it, but it's always about the product. The product, the spec, the this, that, but it's very rare that I see in business anyway. People focus customer first in terms of the marketing approach. So how do you tackle that, like especially like at Michigan Credit Union, because there's lots of credit unions, right? So you need to differentiate.
Absolutely. Understanding your value proposition.
Yeah.
And your points of differentiation, and that's for us. So the University of Michigan Credit Union has been around for nearly 70 years. Started in 54 with, I think, 12 university employees with $9 in assets.
Wow.
Okay. And so scroll 70 years later, we were at 117,000 members and $1.4 billion in assets.
So you're talking Kevin money.
In the beginning, $9 in assets.
And so my role really is to kind of help kind of create awareness of why the value proposition, why and how it's special. And I'm going into my second year.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is the culture is absolutely hands down unparalleled. The leadership, the people in the organization just want to be there. credit unions by nature are people helping people, right?
Membership
it's a
driven.
nonprofit,
Yep,
membership
yep.
driven, nonprofit. The members, member owned, and enjoy lower rates, and that's how credit unions are founded. And the value proposition, I believe, in our credit union is just the people and the service.
Right.
We have special relationships with the University of Michigan in athletics, and
Yeah.
also have special relationships with the Detroit Lions. We are now this will we will be going in our 6th season as the official credit union of the Detroit Lions.
So you were there before the.
We were there. Our leadership, was there before all of this excitement, right?
Right, yeah.
we were there.
That's cool.
We got to give them a plug, though, too, because anybody that's thinking about doing something with the Lions, great people down there, right, to market with, work with,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
top shelf, right?
Great team.
Mm-hmm.
Great team.
That's
really,
awesome.
Really great team. So I've now had 2 seasons to work with the team, and I would definitely say.
As Kevin always says, it's the team, the team, the team.
Absolutely, as Kevin says in Ann Arbor.
I will say that the Detroit Lions, it's our first year, and we were very pleased, and it couldn't have been more accommodating from a sponsorship standpoint and partner. So I'm glad you feel the same way.
That's
I do.
awesome.
I do.
So back to kind of like I'm going to articulate questions earlier, or Kevin's earlier question a little bit different. So how do you operationalize culture so that you can get the message out? It's more of a tactical question. So the strategic piece, it's basically the core culture of the organization's your differentiator. How does somebody go about operationalizing that so it can become a repeatable, measurable?
Operationalize culture, and I think that's what our leadership has done. They've put into place activities that reinforce culture. Just an example of, and really it's creating the environment for culture to take place. Things like a give back day. Every employee has a day that they can just take off and give back.
To the community.
To the community.
Yeah.
Doing it together
Or
doing
to
it-
whatever they want.
or to whatever
Yeah.
they want. We also have opportunities where we get together as a team in fun environments. And so I would just say culture is about, the culture that's been created there is about the team interaction, the engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are events. You can capture them, you can repeat them, and that's kind of cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then taking
And
that.
fun. I would say fun.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, you spend a lot of time
Yeah.
in your work, right?
A lot.
If you're
Probably
not
more
having
than with your
fun.
family.
Absolutely. And so creating those environments where you're having fun, like really fun, and you want to be there.
Yeah. That's cool. So where do you see this going? With Michigan Credit Union.
Where do I see it going?
Yeah, with you and your role in the organization.
Well, what I'll say is this, and I said it at the Shiro event. One thing that I've learned through that self-reflection is when I'm in organizations, my definition of success literally changed like several years ago, and I realized that. And it's this quote that I really like, and it's strive not to be a success, but strive to be a value. And then what I'd add to that, it's not part of the quote, is the success will run after you.
Yeah, wow.
Will chase you down, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's about creating value while I'm here, right? During my time in my work, creating value. And how do I do that? Well, right now, my goal is to create awareness of an amazing brand with that has an amazing culture.
That's huge. I think you got a book inside you. I'd call it Reflections.
Reflections of Donna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, she's created value all over this town. If you look around, you can see all her footprints and all the value she's created in organizations. I want, real quickly, University of Michigan, right? Great hospital, great medical center. We think of Mott's, leader for Children's Hospital. We think of the research and all the stuff there. But there is a gym that I don't think gets enough credit for how great it is here in our area. And you're on that board right now with Trinity Health. Talk about that for just a minute, because I think that there are so many good things that are happening over there that they don't always get. They don't brag enough. You know what I mean? They don't pound their chest enough, I don't think.
Well, Trinity Health, Michigan is 9 hospitals in the state of Michigan, and we do a lot for the community.
Well, we were just talking about this last night with dinner with some neighbors. Again, St. Joe's came up. They were talking about healthcare and some stuff, and somebody was just recently there, and it always goes back to we had our kids there. What a great experience, and in this, and we've had some interactions with them, and I've just always been so impressed with the way St. Joe's were specifically, and what they do for the community too. That I want to make sure they get a shout out for that.
Absolutely, thank you for that shout out.
It's awesome.
So when you're not
On a board,
leading
when you're
companies
not-
and doing all that stuff, when you're not driving stuff in the community, you're busy on the golf course, aren't you?
I'm busy being an empty nester, a recent empty nester, and reclaiming my golf time. Now, let's not overstate my golf abilities. But yes,
I saw you crush Kevin on the putting green in there.
Well, Les can appreciate this. You were a baseball parent too, right? And Les spent many afternoons or evenings at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Were both your boys in baseball?
Just one.
Just one, but that's enough. Yeah.
Baseball and basketball.
Oh
Parent.
wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you? Were you that parent at the baseball game? Or were you?
I was not.
Okay.
I was not.
We had coached for travel, and actually an old golfing friend of Kevin's, Matt, was a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which travel team?
well,
In the area, local?
it was Fed Ball over in Oakland, Oakland County, but what we ended up doing right around age 12, we started drafting for parents.
Oh wow.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because there's
Yeah. Absolutely.
there's
That's what
that
happens.
there's that parent that
Yeah.
is thoroughly convinced that their kid's going to be, that's their 401k, and
It's serious.
yeah, and the
Serious.
kid's 9.
Well, when we usually close out our podcast, we like to say, we have bourbon out here, and we ask people what their favorite flavor of bourbon is. However, Johnny Bazooka went away on spring break, so he's cleaned out all of our bourbon here, so we have no bourbon to offer anybody. So we're going to change this up,
All right.
and we'll ask you a question. So I think what we should do is, out of the 3, who is the greatest shero?
Oh, jeez.
Yourself, Amy Sell,
Jeez.
or Michelle Crum? Go.
All of the above.
Nice answer.
Hands down.
Yeah.
All right, that was too easy. Should we ask her what her favorite Lion is? Who are you most excited to see next year for the Lions?
Oh boy. Goff.
See if you can maintain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good. Well,
That's good.
Thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great
Thank you
meeting
for
you.
having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you for doing this. And you have an open invitation anytime
Thank
to
you.
come back here. We'd love to get you back on.
Yeah, absolutely.